Hello everybody, greetings of the day. 18th century marks an important place in the Italian gastronomy. It was invented back in 18th century mistakenly, and the term defines a perfectly cooked rice or optimum rice. I'm talking about risotto. Risotto is this creamy, buttery rice cooked in a broth. This Italian favorite rice has lots of origin stories. Comes from the northern part of Italy. It holds the essence of cheese, butter, and the rice comes together, cooked with beautiful wine. The combination makes it an excellent dish. Today, what I am going to show you over here, we are cooking a basic risotto with some mushroom. So what I'm going to be doing first, I'm going to be sauteing the mushrooms, blending it, sauteing some more mushrooms for a garnish, and cooking my risotto along with stock and butter. A very simple dish, kind of a grandmother's recipe, and that's how we are going ahead with this recipe. This is Hoshang Debta from IIHM Pune, going to show you how to make a nice, excellent, easy way to make mushroom risotto. Any risotto, there are certain things that you require. One of is choosing a right pan. I have this pan here, which is a thick bottom pan. How to know a pan is thick bottom is when you have a double layering underneath. So I'm using a thick bottom pan here for my risotto, for cooking it. And now I will show you the ingredients that I'm using for making this simple risotto. In risotto, it's considered as a first course in Italian food. इटालियन खाने में रिजोटो को पहले कोर्स कंसिडर किया जाता है, इसके साथ ओसोबुको सर्व किया जाता है. सो ए फर्स्ट कोर्स रिजोटो बनाने के लिए लेट मी शो यू व्हाट आर द इंग्रेडिएंट्स दैट गोइंग इन इट. वी आर रिक्वायरिंग द राइस दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड टू मेक दिस रिजोटो इज arborio. दिस इज अ शॉर्ट ग्रेन arborio rice that you're seeing here. I am using some chopped leeks, basil as the main flavoring. I have got some button mushrooms. You can use mushrooms in any form. You can use shiitake, you can use black fungus, any good mushrooms. I'm using button. I'm using some garlic, butter, and wine. Let's go and make the risotto. So I'll add little oil to the pan, and then I'm adding some cubes of butter to start it up. You'll see the butter starts melting immediately. Some chopped garlic, so chopped leeks, as I earlier said, this is one of the most easiest recipes, really buttery. And the meanwhile, when I'm doing all this, I can show you even my stock that I'm using, the vegetable stock that I'm using is also ready. So let's go ahead and cook the leeks. When the leeks are done, I will add the rice, I will cook it up, then we'll add some wine, then deglaze it, and then we'll keep on adding the stock until the rice is cooked. Now we have to cook the rice until the outside crust starts a slightly pale in color. We don't have to make it brown. We need to remember this is a mushroom risotto. The color of mushrooms often turns to become little brownish after cooking, so we have to keep it that way. So not make it too brown this time. And once the rice starts little crackling, you will see a slight crackling noise coming out of it. That means the rice is cooked, and then we will add wine, and then we'll add the stock slowly and slowly. So meanwhile, when the rice, you see it has started crackling, I remember I told you about some sauteed mushrooms, and we will make a mushroom paste. We'll go and do that now. For mushroom paste, we require sliced onions, garlic, a little bit of leeks, and butter. We cook all of them together, we saute them, make a paste out of it, and that will add at the last of the risotto, at the last stage of the risotto, and then we'll finish it with some leftover sliced mushrooms that we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and make the mushroom paste. I've added some oil at the first so that the butter, when I add, it doesn't burn. So a 1 cube of butter that goes in it. Once the butter starts little melting, some roughly chop garlic that will go into it. That's when the butter starts little heat up. When you see, I'll add the roughly chopped garlic to it. Why did I cut roughly chopped? Because anyway we're going to be blending it all together along with the mushrooms. So now I will be adding, the garlic had started little sizzling. So once it's become little translucent, I will be adding the onions, and then I'll be adding the mushrooms to it. I blend it up, and then we'll be finishing it in the risotto. So now we add the sliced mushrooms. With a little bit seasoning I added earlier, I added some salt, now some black pepper. The moment we add salt and little wine to the mushroom, it starts releasing water. So it's not needed exactly to add extra water to make it, but certainly sometimes some mushrooms are a little dry in texture, so you can little more stock to it and let the mushroom cook. So once the mushrooms are completely done, they're soft, they're tender, we will blend it up. They are all ready. Now I will take them. And what I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be blending it. It'll be like a paste. This paste I'm going to be adding it to my risotto when it's getting cooked. Okay, so let's go and blend this. So this is how the mushroom paste looks like. I can show it a little more close. So this is the mushroom paste. This is going to be going into the risotto. So let's go ahead, add the wine, add the stock, and let's start cooking the risotto. I'm adding the wine. So this beautiful wine goes into it, and immediately we'll start. And now little stock in it, and we'll start adding the stock to the risotto. So the risotto takes time to cook. It's a slow cooking process, rice which requires certain process of slow cooking. So certainly at this aspect we're going to be slowly keep on adding the stock that we prepare, the broth that we have prepared here, and that's how the entire rice will take. It takes around 15 minutes to get it prepared. So when the risotto rice is starting getting cooked, we'll come back and then show you how does it look like. So we see the rice, the creaminess of the rice. One of the most important factor whenever we prepare a risotto, we need to understand a small thing. जो ये चावल है, जो चावल हम use करते हैं rice खाने को, arborio, it's high in starch in nature. So whenever we prepare a risotto, we should never clean the rice. ना हम उसको pick करना चाहिए, ना wash करना चाहिए, ना soak करना चाहिए, because any of the traditional methods that you take for making the rice will ideally make the rice lose its starchness. So the moment the rice lose its starchness, the creaminess that risotto offers will be gone. So the most important aspect of preparing a risotto rice with arborio is that you should never soak it or wash it under the running water, which traditionally we follow for preparing other forms of rice. So when we prepare risotto, no washing, no soaking, or no putting it under the running water so that the starch escapes, because that starch with butter will give the creaminess to your risotto. That's the most important thing you need to know whenever we prepare risotto. So let's go ahead now and add the creamy mushroom mixture that I made earlier to the rice. ये हो गया स्टार्च बहुत छूट गया इसमें. Okay. So now the rice is completely cooked. We added the nice paste that we have prepared earlier, and this entire thing is ready. We'll take it out. Before taking it out, one of the most important thing that need to be added in it is Parmesan cheese. Without cheese, none of any of the Italian food is incomplete. So to complete this dish, we need to add Parmesan cheese, and then we will plate it up. Let's go and do that. So here I'm adding some nice grated Parmesan to it. One another thing that we can add along to it with just for flavors is some curl up basil. Basil technically will add, give a little more flavor to it. We do not chop it, we do not slice it. Our last stage, a little basil will really elevate the entire experience, the entire aroma, the entire flavor. The basil certainly elevates the entire dish. So a basil will be a best thing to add at the moment to give that aroma. I can really get the smell coming out of it, the richness, the creaminess of butter, the starch, the basil, the Parmesan, all of them coming together. So now we see the creaminess of the risotto. The risotto is ready. It's all ready to serve. Let's go and plate it up. The creaminess of the risotto is one thing, the most important thing you need to see. A ladle full of risotto. We add some saute mushrooms. Here I have sauteed those mushrooms with some olives and basil. This goes beautiful as a garnish also in butter. So some saute mushrooms with olives and basil as a garnish on the top. Beautiful Parmesan, the shredded Parmesan on the top. And let's finish this with some fresh, beautiful basil. And this, my friends, this amazing creamy, and trust me, it smells so good. The risotto is ready to be served.